I don't have a clever little intro this time because the chapter does not have a clever little hidden feature into it. No double entendre, no secret meaning. Hello, Internet. I am the hero of Julios, and this is a One Piece chapter summary of chapter 1120 Atlas. And that's it. That's the title. And as we all know, one word titles can only mean good things. But let's talk for a moment about the art this week. It's another continuation of Yamato's cover story. We see that the children are sort of rustled up, put in a bag by the new daimyo of Kibi, Denjiro. Yeah, Denjiro got to be a daimyo. Honestly, kind of makes sense. I assume a few of the other scabbards will also become daimyos as Momonosuke kind of moves on with his own new generation of scabbards. I don't really think we know anyone outside of like Otama, but it would make sense that these guys would move on from being the right hands of Odin to now the people in charge of the country. Especially given everything they went through, I think these guys do deserve some nice little comfortable desk jobs. But you don't want to hear about the daimyo's desk job. You want to know why the chapter's called Atlas. That's going to be a little bit. The chapter starts off 26 years ago. Did we expect a flashback? Yeah. Did we expect it to be another Vegapunk flashback? Maybe kind of, because, you know, the whole Joy Boy thing. Were we hoping for a Joy Boy flashback? Yes, we're not getting that. Were we expecting Clover to get a flashback? No, I didn't see that coming, and I'm sure the rest of you didn't either. As Clover tells Vegapunk, hey, you need to help us. You need to join us on our research. As we are getting more and more info about the Void Century, we need more people in different research fields, and your expertise is exactly what we need. Naturally, Vegapunk says, hey, I work for the government. Void Century is literally something I get like docked in pay for mentioning, so no. And Clover says, you don't understand. There is a big, huge government conspiracy cover-up. He pulls out his big corkboard. The clues are all around us, Vegapunk. And Vegapunk just says, hey, that's not... You're trying to find some dark history here, like the evil past the government doesn't want you to know about. When in reality, Clover, you can't look at history through a subjective lens. As we all know, Vegapunk is kind of the definition of toting the line. He is definitely a middle of the fence. I don't want to say this guy's evil. I don't want to say that guy's evil. Because if I say no one's evil, then no one's going to come and get me, right? The evil people won't come and get me if I don't tell them they're evil, right? Yeah, right. Well, Clover reveals a bombshell to Vegapunk and, by proxy, the rest of us. Clover watched an innocent man die just because his middle initial was D. Because Clover's middle initial is D. And that man was his brother. Clove D. Clover. That's right, another family in the D clan. What does the middle initial stand for? Who knows? Why is a middle initial a clan name? Because usually, you know, it's a last name that links you to a whole bunch of people. Still don't know. But it makes a lot of sense why Clover would be so tooth and nail deep into researching the Void Century. His brother was killed before his very eyes. He had to lie about his name. It says in the flashback, he tells the government employees, like, he's just a friend of mine. We just met like a week ago. I'm so sorry. Did not know his name was forbidden. I'm so glad you guys got to him. And he books it. Clover had to lie about his own brother in order to preserve his life. And he refuses to live in a world where you can die just because of your name. He tells Vegapunk, and I wrote this down, the voices of the past will be heard. Vegapunk goes on to say in his in the modern time, this is like in the modern history, or in the modern story, history is written by the victors, and those who lose, their history is thrown to the bottom of the ocean. In the case of the world of One Piece, that's literal. But, as he says what Clover says, the voices of the past will be heard. We cut to Baratier, we cut to Tequila Wolf, and we cut to Robin herself, crying as she listens to this. I don't know if Vegapunk mentions Clover himself, but maybe the fact that he said the thing that Clover said, it may have just touched Robin a little bit on that front. We can't return to the past, and we have to figure out how to preserve it as best we can, as truthfully as we can. While he's talking this over, though, Venus is just being a huge problem. Venus Juro, he's got his sword, he's coming at the ship, all that. Zoro's trying to fight him off, and Lilith tells Zoro, we can't ship off. As long as that guy is there, he can break our trajectory in any specific direction. I've calculated everything out, and we need things to go perfectly because we don't have a single iota of extra distance to work with here. So until that guy's taken care of, we can't leave. And as Lilith is saying that, Atlas appears behind her and just decks her in the head. Everybody's freaking out. Atlas picks up Lilith and click. Puts her back down. Meanwhile, we cut to York. York, feels the click, I guess, and says, Lilith has been disconnected. One more to go. Atlas is all that's left. Now, Venus saw the, friendly fire going on, so he is a little suspicious about that. But Atlas tells the crew, take Lilith and get out of here. So, for those of you who were gambling on which Vegapunk was gonna go with the Straw Hat crew, it's time to cash in those chips, because it looks like Lilith is the one that's sending out. We knew kind of it was gonna be Lilith or Atlas based on the last few chapters, but Atlas is going to stay behind and help the Straw Hats get away. As the Kuda burst starts getting ready and it begins to launch forward, Venus comes around and Atlas rockets on her feet, fists at the ready, shoves him as hard as she can away. As she flies off, the ship flies off in the other direction, and they are far above where the Marines cannot get them right now. Although they will land soon near a bunch of Marines, but hey, you got Zoro, you got Jinbei. They're going to be fine. Meanwhile, we cut to a very excited Luffy, a very excited Sanji, a very excited Frankie, a whole horde of super excited giants as they're all cheering on this giant robot. The giant robot turns to Luffy and says, Joy Boy, it's been too long. I am so glad to see you again. I absolutely love the way Luffy was drawn in these two panels. Just the whole... And as Luffy's looking away, the giant robot just says, no, over here, me, I'm talking to you. Hey, Joy Boy, over here. And Luffy looks at him and is like, I don't know who that is, but hey, it's nice to see you. And he goes, Joy Boy, take your allies and leave this place. I have waited so long to fight for you once more. I shall handle this. And Luffy runs over to the giants and he goes, okay, guys, time to set sail. Big robot guy, he said we can go. And the giants are like, oh, is he a friend of yours? And Luffy went, nope, he's looking for some guy named Joy Boy. Not really sure who that is, but he did say he's big on protecting that guy. So, anyone on the crew named Joy Boy? Anyone? You look pretty happy. I think that's Joy Boy. Okay, so Iron Giant's gonna protect him, and we're gonna get out of here. So the giant robot. Let me check my notes just real quick. Yes. So the giant robot stands before the Gorosei. You've got Jupiter chomping down on him. Dude's missing an arm. He's bashing away at Jupiter, and Saturn says, good, Jupiter, take him out. Peter, you must do that. I, on the other hand, am going to get on top of the ship. And he jumps, and he lands on he lands on the giant's battleship, and he stares them all down, that wild look in his eyes, because gosh darn it, Spider Stomp is going to kill someone. I mean, yeah, it killed Vegapunk, but that doesn't count. I'm sorry. Vegapunk's still technically alive. Lilith is alive. York is alive. Spider Stomp, 0. Every other attack that has ever happened in the world, at least 1. So Spider Stomp will work. He is really big on getting at least 1 kill. And that's what's going down. So I got here on my notes, we got Giant Robot versus Jupiter. We got Saturn versus the Giants. And then we cut to Atlas. As the Kuda burst is sailing the ship through the sky, Venus, is trying to get closer to the ship, and he tells Atlas, are you really trying to sacrifice yourself for them? And Atlas goes, nope, this is just one last bonus weapon for you guys. And then Atlas explodes. So, yeah. Atlas is no longer with us. And I will actually put chips down that Atlas is actually dead, because Oda's been pulling the punches lately. People actually are dying in One Piece, and that's kind of scary in and of itself. So, Atlas is gone. But I will leave you on one last piece of information that Vegapunk mentions. As Vegapunk gives across his speech and talks about his opinion on various things, he says the information that is inconsequential to us and the importance of Gol D. Rogers' efforts as the king of the pirates. Gol D. Roger. And we actually cut to some prisoners in Impel Down. They're listening, they're listening because you got the transponder snail with Magellan, and obviously Doflamingo's listening over there. And a couple of them are like, Gol D. Roger? Not Gold Roger? What's going on here? Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. A lot of angry people in comment sections are saying Vegapunk's information has been boring. Vegapunk's information has been pointless. Vegapunk has only been telling us things we already knew. Joy Boy existed a long time ago. Roger's crew knew the truth because they made it to Raftail. Shanks and Buggy are members of Roger's crew. Gol D. Roger is his real name because his name's not Roger. We are the audience. And from an audience perspective, we get to be privy to some information that other people don't know. Yes, we've known Roger's full name is Gol D. Roger as long back as Drum Kingdom. Some people who are currently watching One Piece are younger than information we know about the true, history of the One Piece world. But this speech isn't for us. One, because it would completely undermine the entirety of Robin's character if we learned the true history before Robin actually got to learn it. I think it's only fair that because that's her dream, we should actually have to learn it alongside her and on her accord, not by Vegapunk spoiling it. Two, the important information here isn't for us, it's for the world. Because now the can of worms is open. We, as the audience, know what they, as the actual residents of this world, know, and we get to see the chaos unfold. This would be some crazy butt pull if all this information came out in 3 chapters. But it didn't. It's just the rest of the world catching up to us. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Oh, yes, the end of the chapter. So, as Luffy is getting ready to sail off with the giants and the rest of the crew is ready to land on the water with, Marines surrounding them, we got Iron Giant Emmett. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Emmett. Emmett's his name. Either that or Emmett's the guy that built it. Whatever the reason. I think Emmett's the name of the Iron Giant. Emmett stands before the Gorosei and he thinks to himself, gee willikers, Joy Boy, I sure have gotten myself into quite the mess. Guess I'm going to have to use that. Because Oda loves using vague words. I'm going to use that. I need to tell that person. I bet this guy at that location would definitely want to know this information. Wouldn't you, the audience, know what I like to know what I'm thinking? Yes. Yes, I would. My guess is he's got a giant weapon. Maybe he has like some mini version of the Mother Flame. Or maybe Emmett himself holds the key to Uranus and is just gonna blast away the Gorosei. Maybe he's got a teleporter. Actually, maybe he's got a flute that makes people fall asleep. There's actually a number of things this could be. It doesn't have to just be a weapon. But it looks like he's going to use that. because, as Joy Boy told him, there's a time and place for everything. There's also a time and place for me. A time and place such as ending this video before I run out of battery in my camera and microphone. So, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this chapter, what your theories are for the upcoming things. What do you think Emmett's secret that thing to use soon is? Regardless, thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Hero Julios, Xing out.